Welcome, welcome, world. This is the Seymone and Tasha show. I'm Seymone.
And I'm Tasha.
And tonight, Tasha, what I'm talking about, what is the topic?
Tonight we are talking about how do you recognize if you are in a healthy relationship?
How do you recognize if you are in a healthy relationship? Do you know, or are you feeling stressed or having questions about it? Welcome, welcome to the Seymone and Tasha show. I'm Seymone.
I'm Tasha.
All right, Tasha, let's get to it. What are some of the things that, our viewers have been asking us different relationship questions? And one of the ones that come up is this relationship right for me? And how do I know that it's healthy? Because sometimes certain issues come up in a relationship and you're wondering, is everyone going through this?
Right.
Am I tolerating things I shouldn't? How do I know that I'm in a healthy relationship? What's like the first thing to consider, Tasha?
The first thing I would consider is, can you trust that person?
Oh, the trust. The trust.
That's a big one. If that is like the foundation of a relationship, period.
And I know, some people will try to even use that against you, like in a gaslight situation, like you're feeling like there's something off here. She won't let me look at her phone. She won't let me go with her here and there, and she's going places by herself. So then you're thinking, can I trust her?
Right.
You're thinking, is there something going on? Like, I know for me and Tasha, she can look at my phone anytime.
Right.
I can look in her phone anytime.
Exactly. But I think, Seymone, that when a relationship first start off, like that shouldn't even be an issue. If you trust a person, like, I don't know, I see all the time, like it's a whole thing with the cell phone. That's like a big thing. I mean, I get the whole, privacy and all of that. And maybe it's a thing where, like, when they first meet, they don't want the person going through their phone or something. But if that foundation of trust is there from the very beginning, then
yeah,
And
it's like once you're in a long-term relationship, like ours, then that shouldn't be a question or an issue. If you still have to question that, and you've been together for a while, let's say a year or more.
Yeah.
You've been together a year or more, and you still don't have a password to the phone. You still can't even look at the phone, or you won't let your partner look at your phone. Then that's going to create that distrust in the relationship.
Right. But Simone, don't you think that something happened prior to that? Because most relationships start out with trust, most of them. But you know what? Maybe it could be a different thing where maybe that person has trust issues, like from the very beginning. So then I could kind of see where, like you start having issues early on.
I think I know where you're going with this, Tasha, because on our last podcast, we talked about you're coming from another relationship and you might still have that energy of distrust on you because you couldn't trust that partner.
Okay, from the previous relationship.
So now you have that energy of distrust on you. So it's hard for you to look at your new partner and totally trust them because you're still bringing that over from your old relationship.
Right. And that goes back to maybe, the person having given themselves enough time to heal.
Yeah, so it goes back to giving yourself time to heal, getting over an old relationship, taking time for yourself, and then moving into a new one. But once you're in that new relationship, I think it's like you can't commit totally to that relationship until you feel like you can trust that person, until you feel that the energy of the old person is gone from you.
Right, because any relationship starting out, you should have trust when you start out anyway. I mean, you're just meeting this person is new, so outside of like bringing that from a previous relationship, I don't see why the trust is not initially there in a relationship.
It's like the person didn't give you any reason.
Right,
You met the person and okay, so maybe y'all dated for a couple of months now, maybe you're together and it's been a year. This is time point that we're talking about, it's been a year or more, and your new partner has given you no reason to not trust them.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like maybe you're hiding your phone, maybe she's hiding her phone, and y'all won't let each other look at each other's phones. Like, what's that about? It's like, what? Why would they do that? I don't even know.
I don't know. I mean, I've never had that issue because I just never had that issue, but it is a thing.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe it's the individuals making it a thing. Cause like, what are you hiding? What's the big deal?
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys got to shed some light on.
Yeah,
that
you got to
for
shed
me.
some light on that, because we don't know why people are hiding the passwords to their phone. Why is your phone, locked like that from your partner?
Yeah,
I can pick up Tasha's phone right now, and I know her daggone login.
Yeah,
I know the
password.
login. She
No,
knows it to
whatever.
mine.
Yeah,
I know the login. I know the I know the numbers for her debit cards.
right. I don't know, Simone. I think it just maybe goes back to the individual, and I do think it stems from something previously, because most relationships should start off with trust. It's
Yeah.
the only thing I can think of is something previously. So you guys got to shed some light on that for us.
Yeah, because you can't advance. You can't
Put
advance
something in
with-
comments to see.
you can't advance with the distrust. You can't
Right.
advance if you don't trust a person.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have any relationship without trust. I mean, that's what it's built on, right?
Yeah, and that goes right in line with respect.
Yeah, that's the next one.
It's like, do y'all respect each other?
Mm-hmm.
If you respect each other, why wouldn't you trust a person?
Right.
The respect is that you meet a person, you hold them to a high standard. I would think
Exactly.
that you would hold them to a high standard. That's why you're dating them. Your standard, you're not holding them to a standard that's below what you would expect. You got them at a high standard.
But you know what, Simone? Sorry to interrupt, but that could be another issue. Maybe that it's the person that you chose to be in a relationship with. Maybe that's the issue.
Yeah. So then you have to look at, if that's the case, then you have to look at the standards. You have to look at standards. Did you pick somebody from the jump that you couldn't trust?
Yeah.
Did you pick somebody from the jump that you couldn't respect? And if you did, why?
Right. Well, did you see the signs and the red flags early on and you ignored them?
So that brings us to like, if you are out there looking for a partner and you're picking someone that you can't trust, and you're picking someone, that you can't respect, then that might point to an issue with yourself. Like,
Absolutely.
that you have to take time to know yourself.
Right. And do the
and
work.
know your self-worth.
Yes, exactly.
But we know, Tasha, that when somebody has come out of a relationship, maybe their previous partner, the partner that they're leaving, has beaten them down so bad emotionally,
Right.
and
That's true.
verbally, that now they're thinking they don't deserve, to be with a good person,
Right.
or that a good person wouldn't want them.
Right.
So they might just pick whoever comes along and gives them some attention, even though they know.
Right. And that's why we said, you guys, it's so important, because I get it. Everybody wants to be in a relationship. They want to be loved and have a companion, but you do have to take time for yourself, because if not, you'll find yourself, like Simone said, in another relationship. You'll just pick somebody because they're showing you attention.
Yep. And it's like these days, right? Especially right now, everybody's going through some level of stress.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of people, they're leaving the U.S., just like we did in 2020, because it was a stressful time. We left the U.S. in 2020. It was a stressful time.
Mm-hmm.
So people are going through a lot.
Right.
And when you're going through so much, if you don't have a strong foundation for your relationship, that's when you see a lot of relationships falling apart.
Right. Right. So I would say, when you're in a healthy relationship, that your partner, whoever you're in a relationship with, you guys should be able to have, I guess how I can say, like,
Open communication
and time to yourselves as individuals.
Right.
So whatever that looks like for, the people in a relationship. So, self-care is important when you're in a relationship, so you don't have to feel like you spend every little, time with, your partner that you're, with in that moment. So that's important too.
And Tasha, when you touched on self-care, so when we're talking about self-care, we're talking about care for your emotional health, care for your mental health.
Yeah.
It's a lot for people to deal with trying to keep up with whether you're raising a family together, whether you're holding down a household together. It's a lot to deal with sometimes. So self-care, taking time for yourself and letting your partner take time for their self, that's going to be important, and that's going to be key to that relationship.
Right.
But you have to trust. Right? Going back to trust, you have to trust that when your partner wants some time for themselves, when they want some space, you have to trust that there's nothing that they're going out there doing, that's outside of the relationship.
Right. And when we say like time and space, you guys, we're not saying like, oh, the person said they need space and they go, I don't know, out of town for like, something weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're just saying, like, if you're in a relationship and, the person like to read, for example. I don't know. They like to go to the nail shop. That's me,
Right.
Both of those.
Library.
You give your partner time to just be with themselves, not necessarily outside the house. I mean, it could be outside the house, but that's what I'm saying.
Because at the same time, we don't want that partner to say, oh, Seymone and Tasha said, you should give me space. See, you've been tripping all along. And I just wanted to go over here.
Don't miscrew that, you guys. Let's be clear.
Let's be clear, because we know friends of ours who've been in situations and their partner, disappearing for like a week and things like that. If your partner is disappearing on you for a week and saying, oh, because I need space and you should trust me, that's a different scenario.
Right. That's not the space we're talking about, you guys. That's not it. That's not it.
If that's occurring, then you do really need to sit down, take some inventory.
Right.
And say, what am I gaining from this relationship?
Right.
Well, I feel like the person is playing me.
Right.
Is this healthy? That's what we're talking about. Healthy relationships. Because we've seen women stay in relationships where all kind of crazy situations are going on. It was one woman online and she was like, her wife went like for a whole weekend, gone to a hotel with somebody else. And then after that, she gets to come back home. I mean, I guess it could be a situation, y'all, where y'all agreed on that.
I mean, it could, because everybody's relationship looks different, you guys. So let's be clear on that. However,
if y'all didn't agree on that,
you guys know what we're saying. So say, for instance, I do a girl trip and it's me, my sister-in-law, my sister, and like my best friend. Okay, that's a girl's trip. We hanging out or something, whether it be locally or internationally or whatever.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's different.
We just going to hang. Or if Seymone goes to go visit, family in another state,
then Tasha knows where I am. She, right.
Stuff like that. Or, I'm going to the nail shop or spending the day out shopping. Simone's not a shopper, and I'm gonna get my nails done, toes done, doing a little shopping, and come back home. That's what we're talking about. Not me or Seymone or, the person relationship going out and be gone the whole weekend. You don't know where they at. They're not picking up the phone. Yeah. They're not really texting or calling. That's not what we're talking about.
That's not something you should That's not something you should tolerate. And anybody who talks to me, I would be, like, I'm firm on that. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't condone, I wouldn't like encourage you to tolerate things in a relationship that feel mentally or emotionally abusive to you, that feel wrong to you.
Yeah, because that ties back to your self-worth.
Definitely ties back to your self-worth. And if it feels wrong, it probably is wrong if it feels wrong. Or if it continues to happen over time, then that's something you have to look at.
Yeah.
But with any relationship, there has to be like a level of compromise. If things are going well and the two of you just happen to disagree on a topic,
right,
then you could agree to disagree on a topic.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about with your relationship. I mean, yeah. And you're not going to always get your way. You know, either or, and it's about compromise.
So the
And,
person is not a clone of you, like, you know what I'm
right,
saying? The
exactly.
person doesn't have to be exactly like you and exactly agree with everything that you're talking about, or you agree with everything that they're saying.
And they shouldn't be, because that's one of the reasons why 9 times out of 10 you were attracted to that person, because they were different. You know, it was something about them that attracted you to them. So it's okay to agree to disagree, and you someday or vice versa. Y'all just find some common ground.
That's it. You know, the respect, the trust, the willingness to give each other space in a respectful way, in a
Right.
way that you both understand that you don't have to be up under each other all the time.
Right.
You know? You
Right.
could be off somewhere doing something. They could be off somewhere doing something.
Right. And it's important in relationships that the individuals do have, like, their own thing that they into, or that
Right.
they like to do. That's important. So,
Because you're
that's
two,
healthy.
right? You're two different people. You're individuals, and you should have your own identity. You know, you should have the things that you like, your hobbies, and so on and so forth. You know,
Yep. That's
like I could sit around and play around with tech stuff all the time, and Tasha has no hand in that. You know,
Absolutely not.
she'd be like, "Okay, time for me to go get my nails done and eyelashes and whatever else." You know, so you have to maintain the things that you like to do. Maintain that for yourself. You have to be your own individual self. You know, they always talk about don't get lost, don't lose yourself in a relationship.
Yes.
You know, still be yourself. Initially, when you meet somebody, you might be all wrapped up in them, and then
And we all
Yeah.
do that initially
We
in
all
the
do that
beginning,
initially.
and that's okay. That's okay. That's still healthy. It's something new, and you guys are into each other. So I think that's still
Yeah, that's healthy. That's healthy. And don't be afraid, because you have this side of the coin too, where women are afraid to get into relationships because they think they are going to lose themselves. They feel like they're going to lose themselves in it.
Yeah.
And that's where you step back, take time to get to know yourself,
Yeah.
take time to build you up.
And be able to communicate, with your partner, like what you need in that moment. I mean, you get into a relationship, and like you said, it's good, and y'all loving each other and spend a lot of time together. But sometimes that's good, but you do have to communicate. Like, you may need some time to yourself to woo-side, go read a book, go get a massage. You know what I mean? Like, things like that. And there's nothing wrong with the relationship. You guys are doing fine. But sometimes when you don't get that personal space, you start feeling, some type of way. So it's good to be able to communicate.
And I know some women feel trapped. Some women feel trapped. Like, for example, you're in a relationship and you're not getting that time, you're not getting that space. So don't just run.
Right.
Because you feel trapped, don't just end the relationship and run. Talk it out, communicate.
Yeah.
Say, this is what I need. And that's why a lot of relationships break up, because women are not expressing what they really need.
Yeah.
You have to be able to express what you need in a relationship. Tell the person what you need.
Yeah, I think it's a human default sometimes, that we think people can read our minds.
Yeah.
And so
And they can't.
They can't. And then you don't really communicate it or express it, and that person don't know, and you're in your mind like, they should have known XYZ, da da da. But they don't. Sometimes you really have to spell it out and make it plain for the person, because they really don't know. It's just, they don't know.
And that's probably why a lot of relationships fall to the wayside. Lack of communication, assuming that somebody would know. How would the person know if you didn't tell them?
Yeah,
you got to communicate. Maybe you're saying, okay, I'm the type of person that I keep things to myself. It's hard for me to open up. But once you really want a relationship to work, you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You got to figure it out. You got to do some soul searching.
Yeah. And maybe I do feel like you should probably tell that person that, because they may not know that. They just trying to figure out, like, why you won't talk to them or why you won't communicate. Maybe you just got to express, like, it's hard for me to open up, take baby steps. You know what I mean? Like, explain that to the person.
Right. You can explain that to them, like Tasha's saying, but at some point, if you want your relationship to work, you're going to have to open those channels of communication.
True.
You're going to have to figure out why you're shut down. what has shut you down in life. You might have to go back all the way to your childhood and see when somebody shut you down.
Mm.
And see how you can move past that and now open back up and share with your partner. Because that's a question we get. How do I get my partner to open up and just talk to me? That's a question that we get.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so that opening is going to happen when you decide to take a look at yourself. When you decide to look in the mirror, go inside, introspection, meditation, prayer, get in the closet, meditate,
Right.
take time for yourself and figure out how you're going to get past that blockage, because no matter what happened to you in childhood, as an adult now, you can make the decision to be different and take.
That's true.
Right? Take the steps to move past that and be different.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely have to do that because it's almost like if not, your past or your childhood is going to hold you hostage.
Yeah, because everything could line up in a relationship. Y'all could have wonderful time together. You laughing together. You trust each other with the phone and this and this and that. And then when a serious issue comes up, you shut down or they shut down.
Or you run.
Or you run because you shutting down. That's another form,
Right.
You go into that silent space, that quiet space that people aren't going to tolerate for long. They're not, because they want a whole relationship.
Yeah.
People want somebody they could talk to, somebody they can confide in, somebody who would confide in them, someone they can open up to, somebody who's going to open up to them.
Right.
That's what, women are usually looking for.
Yeah. The one thing about that, I'll say, going back to communication, like if you have a conversation with your partner, like, it's hard for you to open up and this, that, and the third, maybe that partner can have some recommendations on things you could possibly do to help with that. I mean, you never know until you, express that to them.
Right. But you have to be open with that. Like if your partner's talking to you and you're a person that shuts down, don't just like turn a deaf ear to them and then just go back into your old ways. Not if you want the relationship to work.
Yeah.
Because I know the people who are rocking with us, y'all want the relationship to work.
Yes.
You see our relationship. We're working it every single day.
Every day.
There is trust here. There's respect here. There's communication. We get past hurdles. It's not perfect.
Right.
We get past barriers, but we continue to work on it.
Right. And you got to want it. That's the thing. You got to really want it. You got to be in it.
You got to really want your relationship. You got to really want it. But at the same time, y'all don't tolerate no nonsense.
Absolutely.
Don't tolerate stuff that you know.
It's time out for that.
and if you don't know when it's time to fold them, you reach out to us, talk to us. We're not telling you to run from relationships.
Right.
But we're telling you take care of yourself.
Right.
Your self-care is important. Your mental health is important. Your emotional health, your spiritual health is important. So put those things first for you and your partner. Right?
Yep. That's true.
Their health is important too.
Absolutely. You are so right about that. That's important.
Yeah, definitely. So that's what you got. That's what you got to look at. When you're thinking of a healthy relationship, look at the whole picture. Look at the whole picture of how the two of you are treating yourself.
Right.
How the two of you are treating each other. And the things that you're doing to show that you do respect each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
how you show up for each other.
Yeah. It's how you show up for each other.
Yep.
That's exactly it, Tasha. That is exactly it, y'all. Y'all definitely reach out to us if you have questions on relationships. That's what we want to offer you. We want to offer you advice. We want to help you keep your relationship together if you know it's good, but just have some glitches. We'll help you work out the glitches,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because I've always believed, it's always been my belief that once you find a good person, once you find a really good person, hold on to them.
Yeah. Yep. Hold on to them. Work it out.
Hold on to the good person that you have and work it out. Don't get distracted by what you see over there.
Nope. The grass is never green on the other side, you guys.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
You got a good person, you hold on. But if it's abusive, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, sometimes
draining.
If it's draining and abusive and you're tired, because you know yourself.
Right.
You know yourself. All
Yeah.
right, y'all. Anything else,
Relationships
Tasha?
are work, you guys.
Relationships are work, y'all.
They are work.
It is work.
But loving somebody shouldn't be hard. You know, relationship
Yeah.
shouldn't be like hard.
It
like
shouldn't be
that.
like you're pulling 10 blocks. It shouldn't be like you're pushing a boulder. That's not the kind of work we're talking about to hang in there for.
Right,
It's not like
exactly.
you're pushing a boulder and you trying and the other person ain't there. Hopefully we gave you some insight into what space is and what
Yes.
space is not.
Right.
If the other person isn't there and they trying to go over that way and you trying to pull them back this way, if you got to pull them back, if you got to drag somebody back into your life, come on, y'all.
Yeah, no,
Right?
not healthy.
Yeah,
Not healthy.
yeah, that's not healthy at all. Man. All right,
yeah.
y'all. Send us the questions. We right here.
Put them in the comments, you guys.
Put them in the comments. You can reach me and Tasha on YouTube at any time and Facebook.
Yep.
One of our Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
Yep.
You can reach us there at any time, and the links to our Instagram, Facebook, they're in the description.
Yep.
So y'all feel free, reach out. All right, Tasha.
All right, you guys.
That's it
Yep.
for today.
That's it.
All right, guys.
Happy, healthy relationship.
Yep. Happy, healthy, long-term relationships. We wish you all that. All right, guys. Thanks for coming through. I'm Seymone.
I'm Tasha.
And it's good to see y'all again. And see y'all next time.
See y'all next time.
All right.